What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Adulting 101. I'm Nelson Bills. On this channel we talk about the process of going from a young adult to a proper adult. That's investing, saving, getting your own place, moving out, dealing with debt and everything in between. Today's episode we're going to have a conversation with a millionaire, a real life millionaire. Bottles, holidays, Gucci, Range Rovers, all the good stuff. On Instagram I put out a poll where you can submit your questions. Thank you for everyone who submitted questions. This is part 1 and we are here with my boy Enea.
Okay, so my name's Enea. I came up in the media industry and I'm also involved in property now. So that was like my come up in that sense. And yeah.
Cool. And how old are you?
Me, I'm 30.
30.
My mum keeps telling me I need to get married. So obviously like, listen, there's ladies out there getting shot. 26 or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it was around that age.
Yeah.
It was on the come up of like YouTube. Like the property thing was popping off at that time. YouTube was popping off, and it kind of pushed me through that. Yeah. Basically, it was a good time.
And that was like 4 years ago, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I remember because it was like the whole Brexit thing was happening back then, like on the news and everything. Like, and I was happy anyway. So I was like, whatever. Yeah, good times. I think it's very different depending on like the personality of the person, because you might have like someone like Floyd Mayweather where these stuff would not apply to, but he just gets huge amounts of money anyway. It doesn't really matter, even though he gambles and shit like that and everything like that. But I think like from a normal person's standpoint, like I think just being thrifty with your money and just not you might be successful for a little while, and if you just keep spending and living that lifestyle, which everyone wants to do realistically, you know, who doesn't want to live that lifestyle? Mm. But I think it's just self-discipline, I think, is one of the most important things. Being able to just kind of sacrifice your enjoyment for now for something better in the future, I think it's one of the hardest things to do, but it's one of the most enjoyable things once. You know what I'm saying? Once the weight is done, then it's way more enjoyable, because at least you know you've built safety nets, etc. Whereas some people, you know, there's a lot of people that get quick money, but it also depends on how you treat it as well. I think that's the most important thing for me anyway.
Yeah, so those two is delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification.
And
very, very delayed gratification, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And then just, I think discipline will come into the same thing, I guess. Yeah. But it's also the mindset. I think I hear it a lot where people are like, they kind of, even to me they mention sometimes, they're like, oh yeah, like you're that typical like stingy rich guy, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just that like I don't like to spend money for the sake of spending money. Like I don't really get enjoyment.
You're losing the girls by saying this, you know.
No, I don't give a fuck. Listen.
You're losing the girls.
I need me a girl that's like good with money, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, let's save this, let's save that. It doesn't matter, like, you can have all the money in the world. I see Warren Buffett, for example, yeah, and I'm using very big examples, but like, the guy's a billionaire in the region of like 50 billion, and he still goes and buys a used car. And I'm thinking like, but the thing is, it's just because he's used to it. He can afford to buy thousands of brand new cars, but it's just his mentality from young has been to always be thrifty with it, like, and he's always had that mentality, and I think that's gonna stick with me as well. No matter how kind of big you get, or no matter how successful or how unsuccessful I get in life, I think it's always gonna stick with me.
So what do you spend your money on?
No, but do you know what? I just bought a Tesla in it, so it's like I'm not that cheap, but like I'm also smart with it. Like for example, like I weigh up the options. Like for example, I was looking at like, should I get a Porsche or should I get a Tesla? And I was like, all right, cool. Well, the Porsche is sick, but like a Tesla is going to be just as enjoyable. It's going to be faster. It's going to be more economic in the sense where it's like I don't need to spend that much on it. It's a cool car. It's all the techie features that I love. Yeah. It gave me a lot of, and it'll hold its value more because it's like in the sense of like people are always going to want to rebuy it to drive it to London because it's free, especially from like next year. Like it's only going to be electric vehicles, not even hybrids. So I was like, it makes financial sense to get the Tesla whilst it's still being a luxury car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, cool, it makes sense. So that's my mentality with it. And it's kind of like, you don't have to be cheap, but you can be smart. I'm extremely good at saving, to the point where even my parents like I'm like the lead saver in the house, like, you know, I was like, I'm like, because it's just, I think it's just been in my mentality from young, and I think they gave it to me, or it's something in my past that it's made me like this. Obviously, coming from a poor country, like, your mentality in it straight away is to save, and like, I don't, like, the people watching this, it's going to be a small percentage which would have come from a poor country and has actually experienced it. Like, for example, your parents would have struggled, but I don't know if you would have here. So I don't know if you would have seen that deep struggle, but I have. So it's like, for me, my brain always goes back to like, I could be that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I always pull myself back from going too wild. So I think it's that mentality from young, and then once it stays with you from young, then it's with you forever. Educating yourself is one of the main things, but then also it really depends on what makes you happy, to be honest. Some people are happy doing that day-to-day thing and living on their wage, and if that is what you truly enjoy, then there's no point. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing what you're doing. Like, but if there's something in you that's like, I want to change, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. If you've got certain goals, then I think it's preaching more to those people that actually want to do something with it. Then it's just, I don't know how you can teach discipline, man. It's like, well, what's the saying? It takes 66 days or whatever to form a habit. I don't know if that's true, but like, it takes a little while to form a habit. And I think up until that point, you have to force yourself. There's no other way. It's not an enjoyable way to do it. Like, I've been trying to lose weight. I've been eating salad. I'm not going to tell you, it's not enjoyable. Like, it's not enjoyable, but I'm just having to force myself to do it. And hopefully at some point, like, I'm going to enjoy the outcome, innit? So, kind of like,
them six pack.
I think it's enjoying the struggle, man. Just enjoy the struggle. There's a good outcome to it.
What percentage would you say of your income you save?
80%.
80% of your income is...
I think, alright, so basically, like, there is different advice online. People say save 20%, etc. But because in the position that I'm in, like, I am able to save that and still be able to spend a decent amount of money. So it's like, I feel like it would be wrong of me to spend half of my income, because there's not much I can spend it on. Unless I just go 5-star hotels and just, but I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care about going to fancy meals at the Shard. Like once in a while, yeah, but like, whatever. Like, my mom cooks banging food. Hey, listen, come round and say, we just, like,
Pick up her, man.
like, that home cooked food is the best food. Like, so those outgoings for me are very minimal. Like, I love cars, so I'll fully like spend money on cars, like, as I said. But I would only I love technology, so I'm always buying the latest Apple, whatever. But like, the stuff that I enjoy, like, I don't kind of hold back from myself. If you know what I mean? Like, I do spend, but I genuinely spend for myself and not for other people, if you know what I mean.
So for those people who are struggling, who don't have you know, crazy amounts of money to save, if you only earn a little bit, what would your advice be to them?
Well, the thing is, I've started in that position as well. So I think it's like, you're gonna have to cut your costs. So no finance, like no cars on finance, first of all. Dead that. Oyster card, best thing. Like, or
so no car at all.
No, you can have you can have a car. You can buy a Polo for like $2 grand. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I did. I'm just going off my experience. In 2012, something like that, I bought a Polo, £1,900. Put insurance on a little box thing or whatever, the cheapest thing they had. Cool. So I was running the Polo for like $3 grand a year, and that's not, like, it's alright, it's doable. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's acceptable. But you see these guys with brand new Beamers, like, but they're paying hella money on finance. It's just like, you're killing your own future basically with that. Like, whilst you're enjoying this new car that realistically is going to be an old car in 3 years' time. So it's like, so there's no point doing it. Like, there's no point living for other people. Cars are a big waste. People like to obviously live good, so they like to eat out and eat fancy. But the thing is, eating fancy, like, if you genuinely enjoy it, then do your thing. But like, if you're just doing it to seem for the Instagram, if you're doing it for that, then just kill that. There's no point. Like, there's no point. No one cares Like I see a lot of people on my Instagram, like out fancy restaurants every day. Like I don't care. Like I'm not there like thinking, wow, like you're amazing. Like who cares, bro? No one cares. Like you're doing it. If you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. But like if you're doing it for the gram, then you're ruining your whole life for other people's entertainment. And I'm not trying to live that. Like I think that's one of the things for the earlier points is like living for yourself. Like don't live for other people, because other people are always like, if you try and impress other people, you're always going to be chasing to impress other people your whole life. And like at the end of the day, when you're 60 and you got back pain and shit like that, like no one's gonna, like these people that were like, whoa, they're not gonna care. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So do it for yourself, man. Don't care about other people. So yeah, going back to the question, it's like cutting your costs. So eating out, spending money on cars, minimal, keep that minimal. And then even if you're on like a basic wage, like what is it in the UK right now? Like
35k, so like like $2,000 a month.
Okay, cool, yeah. To be honest, I think some people are making less than that. So let's just say 1.5k.
Yeah.
Alright, so, and another cost is people want to live by themselves. Now obviously you've been able to afford that and you got your own place, you got your mortgage, so at least the money you're paying into your own property.
Some of it,
but people, but well, most of it, like, so it's like, but people, like, they prefer to rent because it's the easiest way out of their parents' house. And that's true, and you want your privacy. I understand that you're young, you want to do your own thing, but that's going to eat into your future. I gained quite a big level of wealth whilst living at my parents, and I was happy with that. I was genuinely content with it. Like, and then I bought my first property, but then even then I put tenants in there. I still lived with my parents up until when I was 26. Yeah. Then I got my own place to live in myself. Up until that point, I was living with my parents, and I was very happy. My mom cooked the best food. Listen, have I made this point already? My mom cooks banging food, you know. Like, I was happy with that. I understand some people can't do that. People come from different backgrounds. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like family's life is difficult, whatever. But like, if you at least tick off some of these boxes, then you can put away 500 a month, 600 a month, 700 a month. Like, it's doable. It's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Don't get your phone on buy a used iPhone. Right now, we're in 2020. You can buy an iPhone 10 on eBay for £300, and it's perfect. It looks the same as this. It's got the same screen layout, same camera. Like, why do you need to spend £1,000 on a new phone? Get like a SIM-only thing. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to save money. Like, I know it's not cool. Like, saving money isn't cool. Like, but it's cool in 10 years' time. When you're rolling around in a sick Tesla.
The Tesla, my guy.